Well, hey kiddies, Retro Dad. I got my backpack on and I am ready to head north. I'm going to Cowlitz Gaming for Kids, and guess what? You're coming with me. I'm going to show you the whole event, the whole shebang, and more after these messages. Welcome back to So Wrong's Retro Collected. Well, hey kiddies, about to go inside at Cowlitz Gaming for Kids. I'm a little early. Let's see what the crowds look like right now. Last purchase of the day. I'm going to get some lunch and I'll go home, talk about what I thought about the Expo and everything, so stay tuned. Just came back from Cowlitz Gamers for Kids. Took a while, got stuck in traffic. I'll be honest, it was epic. I had a lot of fun. But I was a little disappointed in selection of NES games. Not that there wasn't NES games there, but a lot of the higher end games I was looking for seemed to be absent. I didn't even see a Bonk's Adventure or a Panic Restaurant, not even a Dinosaur Peak, especially. No Kid Clown. I looked everywhere for it. A lot of vendors were there. The trinket sellers were back. There's some really cool artwork. Just take a look. There seemed to be a lot of games, but I talked to some of the sellers, and they didn't bring some of the games they normally bring with them. One seller in particular brings a plethora of NES games, decided not to bring any this time. There was one seller who had NES games in the box for great deals, but they couldn't even move the games they had. I think they sold about maybe a 12th of what they had, but they had a lot more, and it was just odd, and even they thought so too. Biggest complaint. I thought I was going a little cuckoo here. till another buyer said something to a seller, and I usually don't like to butt in, but I go, you're not the only one. He was talking about there was so many repros, and he was right. There were sellers who had an abundance of repros. And I've never seen so many at an expo, neither did this guy. A lot of repros, which is not necessarily a good thing either. So let's look what I picked up, shall we? Well, I got some NES sleeves. It was kind of funny, I ended up getting more later on actually. This is actually a really tough game to find, surprisingly. I think it's uncommon. I would say it's actually rare. I got it for a great deal. The card itself goes for $50. I don't know what it is complete. I can't think of it on top of my head. But I got it for a pretty good deal, and it comes with a box. So I got King's Quest V, one of the cheaper games off the list. Super Mario Brothers. Just the card itself. It's a 3-screw, unfortunately. I already owned the 5-screw a couple years, 4 or 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and I traded it in because I already had Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt. But now I have Super Mario Brothers again, so I have that cheap game, the cheapest game off my list finally. I got this for $6, which I really think it's only be a couple dollars, but it is more harder to get the single cart version than the triple cart or the double cart, the Mario Brothers Duck Hunt. This is actually a tougher one to get, and people were selling this between $14 and $19, so I got it for $6. So I really tried to focus on just NES, but I did grab a TurboGrafx game. I did pick up Bonk's Adventure. There wasn't a lot of TurboGrafx 16 stuff. There was another buyer, him and I kept bumping into each other. I was looking for higher end NES stuff. He was looking for Turbo stuff, and no one really had any. So that was kind of shocking. I didn't even see a TurboGrafx 16 for sale. And if there were some and you were at the Cowlitz, let me know. I looked for one, just a film. Couldn't find one. But I did find a couple games. I think I saw only 5 TurboGrafx 16 games, and this is one of them. And this is the first Bonks. I already have the second Bonks. Now I have the first one, so I'm pretty happy about that. Talked about Donkey Kong, needing it for the collection because I was actually missing this one. It is a 5-screw, so now I have the complete Donkey Kong set. Yes! Surprisingly, this is not a very common game, but I don't really see this very often. I have seen it complete at expos, and I think I've seen it a couple times loose, but I was focusing on other NES games. Now I'm so deep into the set, I had to get this. I got a pretty good deal, so I can scratch that one off the list too. Another one that's been huge on my list for the last year, Dusty Diamond Softball. Surprisingly, 2 sellers had this for distinctively different prices. I talked about how this game kind of goes between 40 and 90. It can't make up its mind. I didn't want to spend more than 60. Well, I pretty much had that happen. I barely spent over 60 on it. Another seller had it for 85. I got the least expensive one from a seller. This is a great baseball game, if I remember correctly. I haven't played it in a while, so I'm looking forward to testing out playing it again, but I got Dusty Diamond Softball. You already saw Aria. This was unexpected. I was kind of hoping to hold off on this one till the summer, but I got it for 15 under what it usually goes for, so I couldn't pass that up. And from the same seller, I got a pretty good hookup. I got Dragon Warrior 3, so now I own them all, and I got Princess Tomato in the Salad Kingdom. Cowlitz Gamers For Kids is all about helping out kids in need. And that's what the expo is about. We come secondary, the gamers. But I love going every year. I usually get some great stuff. This is the first expo though, where I actually had a lot of leftover money. So much I went to another place. Well, Kitty's like deja vu again. I came here in 2014 after Cowlitz, and I know I just did an episode where I came to Retro Game Trader. We're gonna go in and look, because I still have money left over from Cowlitz, see if I can get some more games. I wasn't sure if I was gonna take the drive from Cowlitz to Retro Game Trader, but I decided I had to, and I feel like I kind of on a time schedule to complete the NES. I just feel like I have to complete it this year. I don't know why, just how I feel. They had a bonks. I wanted it so bad, but I couldn't justify buying it today after getting so many other games. But I did pick up some other great stuff. First things first, I got a bunch of sleeves. I got about 40 of them, plus 5 of the Nintendo ones from a vendor at Cowlitz. So I got 45 of these guys. So there's a couple. Hey, here's one for you. You know, there are several NES games I've looked for at Expos, and one in particular is a difficult game to track down. It's one you wouldn't think it'd be hard to find, but actually I'm finding it very difficult. And that's Break Time. It's a game you think wouldn't be that hard to find, but actually, I've gone to the video game swap meet, even the Portland Retro Expo, no one had Break Time. So I ended up getting it at Retro Game Trader. I've seen this card a couple times and decided today, let's do it. You're not invited. In fact, you're uninvited. You know what? No one had uninvited either at Cowlitz. I found that shocking because this one usually you find all the time at an expo. And, you know, I've walked by, I've always wanted to get it complete, but I wanted to save money and just get a loose copy. And plus, that's all they had really at Retro Game Trader. So I got it for a decent price. So in tradition of Retro Game Trader, I ended up getting 3 of their cheaper NES boxes. I got the Magic of and Hubert and Tetris. While I was at Cowlitz, I focused on the hunt for the NES, but I was on the lookout for a couple other games, including one for the Sega. I got the box for Golden Axe 2 a couple weeks ago for $1 at CD Game Exchange. So I went to Cowlitz hunting for this particular title. The only seller who had it was also just in the box. I didn't want to buy the game and get the box when I already had the box at home. Hey, now they're together. So yeah, I got all these 50% off. So if you've seen one of my recent videos, I went to Retro Game Trader and they had Kid Clown. And Kid Clown was really beat up. It was in really bad shape. But that was one of the games on my list, and I was hunting for it all day. So yes, I got Kid Clown. Just look at it though. It kind of fits in with the Wacky Races and Gun Knack, don't you think? They're kind of like the misfit NES games on my collection. And if I want to upgrade them later, I always can. Well guys, this is my haul for 2017 Cowlitz Gamers for Kids. Pretty happy. There's a lot of stuff. Thank you Retro Game Trader, and thank you to all the vendors at Cowlitz. So thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see, subscribe. We have a lot more videos coming up. So have fun, go game. See you later. Hey, I found Jimmy Connor's tennis, but not for the right system.